Have you ever felt like an ad was stalking you online? You see it once, fresh, clever, eye-catching, but then it pops up again and again and again. Suddenly that shiny new ad becomes more like an unwelcome guest who just won't take the hint. This is the familiar scenario of ad fatigue, and yes, your audience feels it too. In this video, I'll show you how to recognize and address ad fatigue, and I'll also equip you with strategies to keep your campaigns fresh and engaging. What is ad fatigue? Ad fatigue happens when your audience sees the same creative too many times. It doesn't mean they hate your brand, they're just sick of seeing that one ad. And platforms notice this too. When engagement drops, algorithms scale back delivery, so you're spending the same money and getting worse results. For example, Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign, which featured bottles with popular names, was initially a massive success. However, as the campaign continued with significant updates, consumers began to lose interest, leading to ad fatigue. Coca-Cola addressed this by introducing new names and personalized messages to re-engage their audience. So how can you tell when your campaigns is starting to wear thin? How to recognize when ad fatigue occurs. Wondering if your audience is hitting their limit with an ad? Well, it becomes pretty obvious when ad fatigue happens. Check your metrics. Look at your click-through rates, total clicks, conversions, video view rate, and customer acquisition cost. If any of these are taking a turn for the worse, your ad may have worn out its welcome. Pro tip: use A/B testing to gauge how different creatives perform across platforms. It's not just frequency that causes fatigue, but the creative style itself. By testing variations, you can identify which elements are contributing to declining performance and make data-driven adjustments. Ad fatigue varies by platform. Not all platforms burn out the same. For example, TikTok ad fatigue happens fast. Your ad could hit the same person 10 times a day. That's why you should refresh your ad creators after a week or two, especially with a small audience. LinkedIn's a different story. It has a longer lifespan because this platform makes ads less intrusive. The same ad can work for weeks without annoying your audience. The bottom line, your ad rotation strategy should change depending on the platform. For your rotation, use at least 5 ads on LinkedIn, 3 to 5 for Facebook and Instagram, and 10 to 20 for TikTok. More options means less fatigue. So what else can you do to avoid ad fatigue? 4 tips to avoid ad fatigue. Here are 4 tips to minimize ad fatigue so your audience feels engaged. 1. Closely monitor the most important metrics. Watch your KPIs closely. As soon as CTR dips or conversions stall, it's time to switch things up. And you can do this by running multiple versions of your ad at once, broadening your audience, or refreshing your creatives, even if the message is the same. 2. Use frequency capping. Frequency capping lets you limit how often someone sees your ad. Not all platforms have it, but Meta and Google do. And set caps that balance brand recall without pushing people away. And if your frequency spikes too quickly, you might be targeting too small an audience. In that case, it's time to broaden your reach. And you might think that ad fatigue only happens when an ad runs for too long, but even a short campaign can cause fatigue if the same creative is shown too frequently or lacks variety. 3. Refresh your creatives. Sometimes all you need is a creative refresh. You can use the same hook with a new visual, or maybe a new layout in different colors. 4. Use dynamic ads. Dynamic ads are a game changer. They look like regular static ads, but each time you refresh the page, they auto-switch headlines, visuals, and call to actions. It keeps things fresh without extra hands-on work. Think of it like rearranging your living room every few weeks. The core remains the same, but a little change keeps things interesting and avoids that stale, stagnant feeling. With dynamic ads, you create a template and a library of creatives that fit into that template. And when the ad loads, it pulls images, text, and other assets from the library. They change often so people don't get tired of them. Balance is key. Keep in mind you're going to get bored with your ads way before your audience does. You stared at the same creators for weeks while building them, but that doesn't mean your prospects have. So how do you know when it's just you who's sick of an ad versus genuine ad fatigue? Check the data and refresh when the data says it's time. You can do this in Funnel by connecting data from all your ad channels and tracking your KPIs in one dashboard. You'll spot early signs of ad fatigue and can act fast before you waste ad spend. That way, your ads will always look fresh, relevant, and perform well. What's the most repetitive ad you've seen lately? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories. Enjoyed this video? Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the good stuff. See you later.